Jack Brown and his question yet again, and this was it, and you're trying to find the probability that x was less than 195. Here the mean is 200 and the standard deviation is 4, because in real life things don't always follow the standard normal, which is z following a mean of 0 and standard deviation of 1. In real life people haven't got a mean, height of 0, etc. So this is this problem where x follows normal distribution, mean 200, standard deviation 4. We're after this. So he's shown you that you need to in order to use the bell-shaped curve and the tables or the calculator, we need to change this x value into a z one. The standardizing formula is z equals x minus mu over standard deviation, sigma. So we'll convert this 195, so it'll be z equals 195 minus the mean 200 divided by the standard deviation of 4. And as he did that, that came out to be, let's just check that, came out to be minus 1.25. So we're changing the problem now to not x is less than 195, but z, probability z, is less than minus 1.25. So on the diagram, we have the picture. We can have two scales on one. I prefer to do that. Here we have the x scale, where we had 200 as the mean, and we're changing it into the z scale, where there's 0 in the middle, or the mean. So we've got 195 here. Or on the z scale, it's now been converted to minus 1.25. And we're after this area where it's less than it. So all that area there. From the last video I showed you how to do this. If it's a less than question, we press P. If it was a greater than, I'd have pressed R. So going back to the calculator, if you're in run mode, that's exactly where you want to be. You need to press options, OPTN. You need to press F6, F3 for probability, F6 again, and there you'll find that P and the R button. We said this was a less than, so press P, and I'll put in that calculator, minus 1.25, press go, and there is the answer. 0.106. Look at one other question. We might as well keep the same mean and standard deviation. If we were after the probability that x was greater than 202, we transform this 202 into a z value. So z equals x minus mu divided by sigma, which is 202, take away 200, divided by 4, and that gives us 0.5. This time we were after greater than, so we want probability now z is greater than 0.5. If you want the picture, which is always very handy, we've got 0 on the scale for z, and if you had the other scale on there, it was 200, which is the x scale, and we're after greater than 0.5 on the z, which represented 202. So we're after this area here, and that area can be found by pressing the R button on your calculator. All you have to press then is R, 0.5. Let's do that. So back to the calculator. Hopefully you've still got those things on there. If you haven't, remind you again, you need to press option, F6, F3 for probability, F6 again, and in this question we're pressing the R for greater than, So, oops, get rid of anything else that's on there. R button, and just put in 0.5 and the bracket, and it gives you that probability, which is 0.309. And there we're done. Cat still doesn't look impressed.